Hello everyone. My name is Nasami Sotige from Bitel at 2B, and welcome to my video. For today's video, we are going to tackle corporation is a form of business ownership. What is corporation as a form of business ownership? A corporation is a business organization that operates as a legal entity that separates from the parties who own it and is treated by a law as if it were an individual person. The shareholders who invest by buying shares of stock. On the other hand, corporations are governed by a board of directors elected by the shareholders. A corporation can do everything that a sole proprietorship or a partnership can do on property: buy and sell merchandise, pay bills, and make contracts. Who is the owner of the corporation? A corporation's shareholders are its actual owners, but the board of directors is in charge of its management. A company is recognized by the law as a distinct legal entity. As a result, the business is seen and attached and independently from the board of directors, who supervise and manage the corporation on a daily basis. But they act on behalf of the shareholders, who are the first owners for the sake of the corporation. Who manage the corporation? The directors and officers of a corporation govern and run it. The shareholders appoint the directors, who are in charge of the corporation's overall management and corporate governance. The directors appoint the officers, who are in charge of the corporation's day-to-day management and activities. They have the advantages of the corporation. First is the ability to raise capital, limited liability, continued life, separation of ownership, and management. The first one is the ability to raise capital. A major advantage of corporation is the ability to sell its stock and generate capital or money. If the corporation needs money for growth, expansion, or other purposes, the company can sell additional shares of stock to raise the necessary funds. And the second one is the limited liability. A great advantage to the stockholders or owners of a corporation is that they have limited liability. And the third one, advantages, is the continued life. When a sole proprietor retires, dies, or sell his or her business to someone else, that the business ceases to exist. The last one, advantages, is separation of ownership and management. The owners do not run the business in most publicly held corporations. Instead, they elect a board of directors, a group of individuals who are responsible of overseeing the general affairs of the corporation. The disadvantages of corporation. The first one is complex and expensive setup, and the second one is slow decision-making process, and the last one is double taxation. The first one is complex and expensive setup. You have learned that sole proprietorships and partnerships are fairly easy to set up. In contrast, a great deal of work is required to create a corporation. The second one is a slow decision-making process. A major disadvantage of the corporation is the slowness of the decision-making process. In sole proprietorships and partnerships, only a few people determine how the business is run. As a result, decision may be made quickly. And the last one is the taxes. Another major disadvantage of a corporation concerns taxes. Because a corporation is a separate legal entity, It must pay state and federal income taxes on each profits. Dividends that stockholders receive are then taxed again. I hope you learned something about this video. Thank you and God bless.